And no one in the waiting room. No. Okay. I'd like to call to order the Guilford Park and Recreation Commission meeting of June 2nd to order at 6:42 p.m. Public forum, I don't see anyone in the audience and I don't see anyone in the air, so I guess we can move right along. There was, again, quite a bit of correspondence received and forwarded, and I wonder if anyone has any comments or discussions.
You know, I have to say something here. I don't know whether it was with this or sort of the paper, the person who was concerned about the shells at the beach.
Yeah, that was a paper.
I thought we had bought a machine that actually cleans up the beach.
The sand.
That's the same.
Not the water.
And not the water.
And so I will tell you that the beaches in Darien were exactly the same as here.
Oh, is that right?
And I did go to Deep when we had a project we were doing at one of our beaches, because people complained about that beach all the time as well. And according to Deep, they wouldn't allow us to do any digging of trying to clear out that it would all come back. But I will reach out again to clarify. Apparently somebody in the paper said today that in West Haven maybe, or somewhere, that they cleaned out all the beach. And so I'm happy to ask, because if that's a thing, love to do it.
It's only because I remember us buying it.
The tone of the email. I mean, come on,
Mhm.
and we ain't.
Oh, it was bad, yeah.
Oh,
And I love the idea of a wheelchair swing,
smiling.
but I think it's probably, it has to come in the future. Those are, I know they're gonna be very pricey.
Not only pricey, but extremely heavy.
Yes,
There has been experiences with the heavy swings with toddlers running in front of them. So you're concerned about a regular swing with 2 feet, maybe hitting a running by
It
toddler,
would have to be.
but that type of swing is
It
really
would have to be
dangerous.
off.
It would have to, we'd need more land, we need
Yes.
more money.
So
How much
Of
could
course,
we?
I love it too.
Yeah.
You know, but it's not, we don't really have the space for it.
I was curious who, McGarrett Regan, 2020 Shape America Eastern District Elementary.
She's just a resident. She's a resident who wrote to us about,
But I was
why?
wondering what that is, that means she works for this?
that's just her. Yeah.
And again, thanks to the Leeds Island Garden Club for us helping them in writing a nice thing.
Yeah, it was very nice. And it was nice, you could see too how that correspondence with that woman with the wheelchair swing. In the end, she seemed
She
fine.
understands.
She seemed fine.
And I will say it also got started with a conversation on Simply Guilford, where there was talk about the pictures that were posted, and so ADA came up, so obviously it was very helpful because I saw it and got some information, and it started the conversation, and then she reached out to me directly, but I connected her with the source. So it
And
was very positive.
On another email.
Okay.
On this, we are gonna put ramps.
No,
No, okay.
ramps, and I just,
Is it, I mean, is it graded enough so you get a wheelchair up there if you want?
oh, no, it's completely 100%.
That's what I'm saying. That's what it was. I thought that was.
Service-
You know,
Her
chance
problem,
to get down here.
her suggestion, I should say problem, her suggestion is why didn't the design provide ramps? And I explained that you need a much larger area. We didn't have that area.
Right.
And I've had a smaller area like this in the past where we had a committee member on the playground committee who had a daughter in a wheelchair. And I learned a lot from that guy,
Mhm.
because he said, listen, to provide a ramp, it's one of the designs had a short little ramp in it.
Yeah,
Cause he wanted to suffice, put the ramp in there. He's like, what is my daughter gonna do with that ramp? She's gonna get up there, she's gonna be embarrassed, there's gonna be kids running all over, and she's gonna be in the way, and there's nothing for her to get to. That's not the experience that we need. What we need is for her to feel like she can roll into it and experience what all the other kids are doing.
Yes.
Running around, having some other things, some touch panels,
Right.
feeling like she's right in the middle of the playground with everybody else.
She's
So-
not different from anybody else.
Exactly. So she doesn't care about having to get to the top of the tower, because she doesn't want to be the barrier.
Right.
So that was what I tried to explain to this woman.
So you can get a wheelchair up.
Oh, yeah.
On the
that's
playground,
all. Yes.
absolutely. Maybe not up to the tower because we don't have enough space, but she can all wheelchairs
I
can
think a great
roll.
child in one, I know the
The
limitation.
gentleman who wrote the letter to the editor today in the paper, I would love to know if we could reach out to him because he feels as if everything is geared toward the children right now, the splash pad
I
and all
know.
the playgrounds and everything, and the playgrounds were because we had the funds from ARPA, we needed the playground, so it'd be nice. I know that if you sat down and chatted with the guy, he would be great. He would be a contributor or a.
He was somebody who was also on the Facebook comments. So I did write back to one gentleman there and said the same thing. They'd be happy to look into deep,
Right, okay.
you know, so, and then that happened to hit the paper, the same guy.
Okay,
So Mary,
this now came to, yeah, it would have been last week,
Oh,
because I
that's-
only just got it out of my mailbox today.
My question's about the pesticides. That's a pretty big issue. So what is the current?
well, I think Tony answered it quite well. I mean, in Guilford, it's still okay to spray at certain locations, but you can't spray on school property. But there are certain areas that they can spray where they can't get to. And as long as they warn it, and it's 24 hours later, it's fine. And as long, and there are areas that kids aren't playing it, they're not doing it near the playground. And they wouldn't do it 100 feet in near the water. So there are certain rules and regulations they follow. Dealt with that too in Darien. It's a big, big, big everywhere. And people don't want, but even on the ball fields, as long as they post it, now they could have posted it and somebody took the sign. You know, that could happen too. But he's not doing anything wrong.
Right.
This, yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And he did write back today. I didn't know if you wanted me to respond
Oh, I
to
didn't.
that. He wanted to know he couldn't make it today. When's the next one? So I can reply to that tomorrow.
Okay,
I didn't know if it was my play. I was copied on it, so
I'll see.
I'll let him know. when
Right.
next meeting. So, okay. You had a busy day. Any other comments about the correspondence? Okay, can we entertain a motion to approve the meeting minutes from May 5th, 2025? So moved. Second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion changes? All in favor of approving the minutes? Aye. Item number 5, update on beach sticker changes.
Okay, so we, as a commission, all supported making this change this summer, based on the fact that we sold 1,100 seasonal non-resident passes last year. And with this new improvement, we all were thinking proactively about what could be this summer. So we limited it to 200. We have made a few exceptions to, like, for instance, a war veteran came in, he was quite old. He's from Hamden, and he was in the hospital for a couple months, knew nothing about, you know, having to try to get a pass before they sold out. I gave him an exception, for sure, right? So we're about 210. But the more that we, I guess, listening to Ellen and her experience with running the beaches, like even with the example of last year, 1,100 to 200 is quite a gap.
Yeah.
We just feel that maybe, like, for instance, even at Lake Hugh, people were just turning around, they were not gonna pay that $50. And as much as we didn't wanna make different policies for different areas, we just thought that we didn't think 75 additional one would hurt anything. And so I thought I would bring it to you. We could stick it out. This could be a knee-jerk reaction. The summer hasn't started yet. I did tell one person who emailed me, she was a Brantford teacher, yep, in here, and I just said, you know, check back in 4 weeks. Check back in 4 weeks. Perhaps we'll notice that there's no problems, and we wanna offer some additional non-resident stickers. Cause I know that in the long run, revenue is sought out too. But I think for the residents, we're out to protect the residents and making sure everybody has a parking spot. So I just want to get your feedback on it. We could wait 4 weeks next month and revisit it. We could open it up and say, I want 75 at each, and maybe there will be no
How
harm.
much is it? How much is it for the non-residents?
So non-resident seasonal was $150 for under 55 years old and 55 and over 75. So that's quite the change as well.
Still a good deal.
Yeah.
Still a great deal. And people bought them up like that. Nobody, there was very few complaints. It's the complaints now that they didn't get.
There were
in.
200 was limit.
200 was limit.
Don't know yet.
Beach weather's been terrible.
Well, one thing I think that we didn't discuss and I didn't really realize, but that person, the teacher who reached out from Branford, is that if people had purchased non-resident passes at the beaches, we did not have their contact information.
Right, so we
to
couldn't-
email them. So
right.
there were some people who had been doing it for a long time and were not aware of the change because they didn't get your outreach about it.
Right, if they signed up at the
So-
beach, we did not get their email.
Right, and so, which is a different topic. But I think if we're gonna start doing these things, I think that there should be more information taken, there should be a contact information, just because, if we're taking non-resident, I don't know.
Yeah. Or if the beach is gonna be closed, you would
Right,
want
some
their
way to
contact
notify.
information, something
Right,
like
I
that,
think
that
it
would
could
be
be
your
useful.
rationale.
But I do think that for people maybe who had repeatedly done it, it would be a shock if they were not notified. Some people don't read their email either, but it's something there.
How many?
A few dozen. I mean, a couple of disappointed people, and some people that went away with their tails between their legs. And if they were consistently rude, we didn't give an exception. If they were very understanding and they were in it, and even on their
Special
like
situation,
one
yeah.
woman was from Durham and her health and well-being is where she swam at Lakeview. And she was in her 70s and it really meant the world to her. That was the easy exception. Easy.
Durham is right there.
It's right there. And not only that, I mean, quite honestly, Jacobs is the one that we're really, really concerned with. I mean, we're concerned with Lakeview because it gets really busy as well, but we'll find out how many residents versus non-residents there are.
So out of interest, we had complaints about boat racks. For non-residents didn't get first go at boat racks, and there were some complaints, right? Right, so but that kind of is done, right?
Done.
How many season passes have we sold to residents?
Oh,
Isn't that this financial? record?
yeah, there is financial record in the back.
Great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we
Well divided.
like, I wanna say we sent out 1,200 passes in the mail. And then we've done, say, 250 or 300 at the beaches right
And
now.
is that comparable, the same amount as last year?
I
Or
haven't
more,
done that.
or- Right, okay.
I can't
So
wait to do
before
that,
you
but I-
made a change to the non-resident passes to add to, we should see if we've managed to get more
Okay,
residents
good idea. Good idea.
to decide.
Lawrence.
Mike first.
I agree with Marcia.
Okay,
Let's see what happens.
that's a great idea with statistics.
Yeah, I mean, we made our decision, we gotta stick with it.
Yeah.
And see how it goes the year, and we could change it next year. I mean, the place is crazy down there, and we made it very, very good. But now everybody out of town wants to come here to the detriment of the people that live here and pay for it.
Yeah.
So,
And we did have 5 people from Jacobs who, I mean, non-residents that came in on the holiday, paid the $50.
yeah, they're gonna have to pay it. I mean, if you wanna enjoy a nice park, you have to pay, and.
No, they paid.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Have to pay,
Yeah,
yeah.
let's revisit it next year. We made our decision, and again, it's there for the town residents. They pay for it. It's.
Also, I know we're focused on Jacobs because of the awesome amenities there, but Lake Quanapug, they have no parking, like you have no, and so I really feel like we
Either
need
place
to
has a lot
focus
of
on that
parking,
because
yeah.
once that
That's
parking lot's full, no one can park anywhere else, and
Yeah.
that is very limiting to residents, and
That's true.
I don't know that this is true, but at least for me in the past, I always thought, oh, if it's a little too late in the day, I'm not even gonna bother.
Okay.
And so I think we really do need to watch it on both sides,
Alright.
and it's early,
Did
we
you
haven't even
have
had a nice day.
I just want to say that we should still have the ability,
Discretion.
Right,
discussion one-on-one, but not saying no to something.
Yeah.
right, okay. I agree.
She's, to Tara's point, I mean, we've had calls from police where people are parking in the streets down there,
No,
so.
I'm so glad I brought it to your attention. You're
I
right.
think we do need to
you're
be,
right.
I think we should just hold off on this and see how, because summer hasn't come yet.
School's
So we
not even out
can't-
yet.
That's right, so we can't make a judgment, say, well, it's better, because we don't.
It was teacher.
Is it ever
Well,
gonna
it
be
also,
summer?
I mean, I would say also, because so what, if we put out 75 now and they sell next week? It's not gonna help, it doesn't help us because we will
Right.
still have people coming when it gets into summer and school gets out, so I don't think that would help us
I
at all
agree.
right now.
I agree.
I
Lawrence?
just think, if you're gonna make exceptions, I think you might be able to put a can of worms. I mean, you're gonna leave yourself open to criticism. Well, you gave it to them, but you didn't give it to me.
Yeah, nobody really knows that. There were like
I do now.
well.
I also think that's her discretion, though. I feel
But
like
I-
she
they were-
runs the place. If
they
she
were-
wants to make a few exceptions, I think that's.
They were, I mean, for some of the elderly, I mean, I felt it was, they're not even getting out of their car. They're coming in for that peaceful,
Right.
you know, probably don't, you know, so I think the ones that we made, Lawrence, I think that we really made
Yeah,
good
yeah.
decisions.
No, you can justify it, but I mean, I don't know.
No, but I think you're right. At this point right now, we did what we've done.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's starting to know all about it, because the
Right.
ones that are driving up at the beach now is harder for the kids a little bit because they have to turn them away, but that's what they have to do. At least they can say, you can get in for 50.
Right.
You know, and
How has it been working out at Chittenden? For
at
the-
Chittenden,
I went there, can't remember what, I guess last weekend.
Yeah.
And there was this teenager sitting on the fence, just twiddling her thumbs, waiting.
yeah, we have a sign that we have to have on a post that was on the ground. There was some confusion with the gate guard, so it wasn't guarded at one point, and Ellen went down on Memorial Day and was like, why isn't there anybody stationed there? And so there were about 9 unstickered cars in Chittenden, but then they guarded it the rest of the day.
Is there gonna be like a?
That's fine.
No, there'll be, but we'll have a chair and a legitimate sign and
And a umbrella?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, can we move this topic along? Excellent. So numbers up.
Non-resident topic of another sport, pickleball. I've heard a lot of discussion about the fact that there are a lot of people playing pickleball that are non-residents in comparison, and I don't know the numbers on that at all. But we don't, and that's not as big a difference in price. So I just think we should think about that for the future.
So we could put that on the, you want,
New business,
yeah, let's
whatever you
put
like.
that under new business. Good, okay. Number 6, update on wings and strings.
Yeah, so our committee has been working hard. Every Wednesday we meet. And we've gotten lots of really exciting things have been happening. Tara's been a great connection with a town resident who owns 2 roads. And 2 Roads is gonna donate our beer. And Athletic Brewery, which is non-alcoholic beer, they also is an owner in Guilford, they're donating beer, but we have a mobile bar called Flirty, who has all the insurance. I have met with Chris Massey, the chief of police. We met privately, then he came and joined our committee. We talked about safety, we talked about, you know, policy, and he supports our best, and he wants to see it, you know, be successful. So we're checking off all the right boxes. All our bands are set. We have sponsors. We got $2,000 from Guilford Foundation. We have the Rotaries considering sponsoring us. We have a couple other sponsors for our concerts. We have Hinding is sponsoring 1,000, Guerrera is sponsoring 1,000. PEC Electric that we use for is sponsoring 1,000. So we're doing pretty good. We're, anything you want to add that I'm forgetting, Tara?
I think it's gonna be really
July
July
26th.
26, 3 to 8.
Hmm?
Tell everybody.
And we're getting some traction. I mean, anybody I talked to too is really excited about it. Rob's.
Is someone else serving beer, or are we supposed to be serving?
No, it will be a
The bar,
license.
the bar is.
Yeah, no, it's.
And I will tell you that I talked to the director of Newington and the source for Potato and Corn Fest in North Branford, because they also serve at their event, and a really highly word I'm looking for, a director that's been around for about 35 years in Newington. And
Regarded.
highly regarded. And he was, I almost fell off my chair and said, oh, who serves your beer? He goes, our Park and Recreation Commission.
That's what I was thinking. Oh, we're coming here. Yeah, that's why I was asking the question.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, Lord.
This will all be professionals here.
Yes, there, it's,
This is a minor note, just for the notes that the athletic person, it's not an owner here, he works for them.
oh, he works.
Not that, I don't even know if you wrote that down, but just saying.
Okay.
So we had a
Yep.
donation, but now we
So
have,
we continue to meet, we still have, we're trying to come up with a lot of free yard games to make it really hometownish. So that there aren't always things that you have to pay for, like the mechanical bulls you have to pay for, there's a open air photo shoot, so it's not like going in a booth where only two people can get their photo, it's an open air, so groups of people can put on the cowboy hats or whatever and take a group photo. We have a petting zoo along with all our vendors, we probably have 15 vendors right now. So we're looking for more vendors as well. So it's, this is what happens with your first year. You're really trying to,
Whole area.
well, cornhole, we're gonna actually put the toilet seats in a box. So it's about having fun to do that, like showing up and having, different stuff. So anyway, that's what's happening with it. It's really exciting and we've got a lot of support around it.
so
Okay.
encourage people, I would say just if you know people who would like to vent. And, encourage them to sign up, so I think there's a form in here.
Is that
I think there's
form
a form in here, but also there's links online.
Yeah, I saw links on your Facebook page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For.
To be a vendor, yeah. Yeah, that's it. No, that's not it.
No, the
Oh,
form-
I was looking at the wrong form. It all looks the same, it's got the same top on it.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, anyways,
That's
if there are vendors though, we should give you the links in case there's someone who'd be interested, because it was vendors, but it's also like farmers market
Yeah.
kind of vendors too, not.
They could be selling molasses or honey or, where things
Whatever.
that they make, jewelry.
Food.
Oh, yes.
We reached out.
We have we have two trucks that are doing the wings. So we're no longer
So we're
having to
doing
do the wings at all. Trucks will do that
On the green.
on the greens.
Yeah. Good, okay. I'll be there this Wednesday, I'm back in
Okay.
town.
Okay, fireworks, number 7.
So fireworks, I have met with fire and police and our staff and Ag Society. The one update on the fireworks is that last year I tried to propose a change. It didn't go very well with the Ag Society, so we have to just let it alone. I met with them privately here at the community center. There's probably 12 of them and myself. And they were kind to me. They were good. But I just said, to me, to be honest and transparent, as a new person coming into town, running a $25,000 to $30,000 event seems very bizarre that we don't bring in 1 penny to offset our expenses. And so I understand how important it is to you to bring in your revenue, but we're making nothing to offset what we're spending. And we have a tough budget with our program account. And so what we would like to do is we'd like to raise, right now as it is, it's $10 for residents and $10 for non-residents, and I think that is ridiculous. So for residents, keep it the same way, right? It's for that show is for our residents, but we have non-residents from everywhere that come. So we are gonna do everything online, and we're not gonna have this people at the gate taking cash. Online, you'll get, all residents stay at $10, it's $1.50 to mail it, so it's $11.50 or something like that. And then we are going up to $25 for non-residents. And that's before, and then at the gate, if you don't sign up early, then residents go to 20 and non-residents go to
Is
40
this like per car, per person?
per car.
Per car.
And the non-residents go to it?
Non-residents go to 40, no change. And I did do a research on this, and an average fireworks event is $25 to $40 a car.
Does the Ag Society run the logistics, like they're the ones that take the gate?
They do, and so we talked about that. They said, okay, so do you want to do online and then you do parking too? I said, I don't think that's too fair. So I think you guys stay with the parking because you're good at it.
Yeah.
And they said on a good day, we make $8,000. So that's what we're trying to achieve. And I said, okay, but we discussed like if it wasn't a good day and, so they said on the lowest, they'd like to receive 5. So, but they're willing to work with us and let's see how it works. We are concerned about someone not knowing and showing up, being upset. So we're gonna put up like 750 online and leave 50 to 100 spaces. That way, when people show up, they don't have to turn everybody away. However, if you were to sell out on site, you would be turning away.
So if you spend $10, you also have to pay for parking on top of that.
No,
No, that is the parking. That is the parking.
that is.
It is the parking. It's always
I've never done
parking.
it.
Yeah.
There's always a parking
You
fee to go
inside
in
or
there.
you sit there in your car.
You could just
sit in a
walk.
car, or you.
Or do you sit outside your car? People like bring a chair and sit outside their car.
No. So it's really a tailgating thing.
It's tailgate. But you pay money to go in and park.
And what do people walk to?
Free.
Free.
Okay,
Walkers are
because
free.
I
That
know
doesn't
we
change.
open, we sell parking spaces for like a $5 at the tap.
Yeah,
At the,
And then they.
Thomas
yeah.
Griswold. And it just is to help your overflow.
Right,
And
and
it
you're
can
making
be
some
rated-
money.
And it makes money and it's convenient.
So that's not.
Even you're making money. And fireworks.
Well, we also park cars the whole time for the fair, and that's one of our big, other than the health service. That's one of our biggest fundraisers, and we just, yeah.
And it makes sense.
It does make
It does. So it makes sense for us too, because it's taxpayer money. So we should offset it and we should be mindful of it, and this is a way to do it.
Okay, moving along, everybody good with the fireworks discussion? Sorry, just slap me. Slap me. So number 8, if we can entertain a motion to review and approve the expenditures.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion, any questions? All in favor? Director's report, anything you'd like to highlight, Pam?
I know it's on here as an update.
I love it.
Let me just look at my report.
Remember what you wrote? You have it,
I do.
I will say, one of my neighbors emailed me and she is thrilled with these playgrounds. She's so happy.
Good, that's amazing. I love that. Well, I guess since we have playground down in the agenda, I'll start with the Connecticut Recreations Parks Association that was in my report. They came out as really the first guests of all the $50,000 worth of work that we did underneath the pavilions and the new stonework and new shower, and people were just so impressed. There were so many people that have not been to Guilford, and they just couldn't believe that this was in our home. So yeah, it was a really fun day. It was a little chilly, but when the sun came out, everyone was spread out on picnic tables, and boy, it was really a nice way to show off our beach. You know, this was 80 professional recreation parks association, 80 of them. Yeah.
And I wrote to Pam after I called you. I said, I said, my text just isn't gonna explain how excited I am for you to be able to show all this off.
Yeah.
Because you have been the motivator and the doer to get this all done in a very short period of time. And so I was so excited that you got to that opportunity.
Yeah, it was really fun, very heartwarming. It was great. Just to highlight on Ellen, our recreation supervisor, and Anthony, and Terry. I mean, they and our recreation staff, spring is always really challenging, and with all the balls in the air we have, I can't tell you, they work so hard, and a lot of it's a well-oiled machine in some respects, but then we have some new staff that we're mixing in with everybody. People are really grateful for Rob. They're grateful for Justin is doing very well. Shaw's doing very well up front. And yeah, it's a new mix, and our new maintenance custodian, Chris Holland, started a week and a half ago or so, and he's a sweet gentleman. And
Did not email about somebody starting again today's from.
that is for park maintenance. So we have some seasonal staff that are starting. Yes, Todd went over to facility supervisor at town hall, and that position opened. So we had to, and we scrambled for a couple weeks not having him here because it was all the setup and the breakdown, and Justin and Rob and Ellen and we all just teamed up and got it done. So now that Chris is here, and Chris washed all the windows today.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, he went around washing all the windows. Look at that. I mean,
Come to the
yeah,
house.
so he's,
Is he Guilford resident?
I need-
no, he's New Haven. He's New Haven.
Not like traveling from Darien.
No, no.
That kind of thing.
No, he's very appreciative to have gotten the position and he's very welcoming to people and, yeah, he's-
Really good staff.
yeah. We do. So
We're very fortunate.
that's all I'd like to highlight. I think they're doing a tremendous job. Let's hope we get through, everything we have going on, which is a lot, but hopefully the residents take.
And we use the pavilions on Friday for the senior picnic.
Yes, the Strawberry Social is Friday, so if you want to come down to the Strawberry Social, you'll get to see it for yourself.
Pay ahead of time.
But there is still, and I'll say this, I'll wait for the playground report.
Okay. I am actually gonna serve at the Strawberry Social, so you can always come down and serve as well. Down there, that she just wrote to me today, 200, more than 200.
She did say she needs help, so if anybody is willing.
It's fun. Brad, are you done? It's fun. Isn't it? We have a good time when we serve.
I just saw Terry downstairs when I was coming in and she said, "We need help."
Collecting money.
I'm not sure about that. So let me ask, but I think it's prepaid. It should
Is
be,
it, it should be.
it should be
So
prepaid.
we're gonna just cross off names.
Yes, but I also, and I will confirm.
Yeah, okay.
So, but the other thing about that is what I'd like to see, because there's 200 and this beautiful new stone under there. I really like to hope we have enough servers that they can sit.
Yeah.
Let them sit so they don't
Yes.
get up, because any strawberry hits that stone,
It's gonna
it's stained. It's stained, so. Under the pavilions at Jacobs.
Down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's every.
We do it every year.
But I mean.
They have a
it's supposed to be
band,
nice.
there's 200
It's
people,
really fun to have.
and it's hamburgers, hot dogs, clam chowder.
Yeah, last year we served everything. They didn't get up.
No, only
No,
this, only the clam chowder and the
That's-
strawberry.
Yes, we get up and get the hot
Yeah.
dogs, we get up and get this coleslaw.
They would call different tables up,
Oh,
so,
right.
so
Hamburgers and hot dogs will still come, right? Up, or you don't?
I just think if everybody stays seated and we had enough people to serve, why not?
Okay.
You know,
Well,
like
I
we do,
just take direction.
like we do with the 200 people here.
Yeah.
And big lunches now, they don't get up, we serve them. And then we take everything away too, so, and then also because there's stone around the pavilion and it's new. So I'd hate to do anything.
Pam is worried about this, at some point, it's gonna stand, okay?
Oh,
I understand.
I'm even talking about old shuffling feet. A little bit about that, because there's handicap walkways to the shower and to the pavilions, but most people aren't gonna use those. They're gonna jump over or walk over the stone area,
Of course they are.
and I don't wanna see any falls. So
Okay, so moving.
Mary's got a
Mary-
question.
I don't know if it's on the agenda. June 21st is the beach night or something?
No, that's Lobster Fest.
No, at the beach. June.
Beach night?
There is something about.
Guilford Day thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Guilford Day.
Yeah.
it's Guilford
Oh,
Day.
it's a truck. This is before it's not in the Parks and Rec.
No,
No.
Guilford Day.
Guilford Day.
So they may have rented.
That's the Developmental Assets for You, that's an organization,
Oh.
and they have a summer kickoff kind of.
Oh, I thought it was.
beach
run
thing.
They probably reserve the pavilions for
Right,
their.
yeah.
for
I
their
don't
event.
remember the date, but that's coming up.
It's June 21st.
Yeah, cause I'm going to Stapleton
All right.
and the Lobster Fest is that night too, that day.
That day, yeah.
Yeah, it's a busy day.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
moving on, item 10, reports of commissions and staff representatives. Bubba Standing Fields.
They had their standing fields at their inspection walk. We're not able to attend the youth.
I didn't attend either.
I didn't hear anything about it.
Yep, okay.
Okay.
That's all we know. Yeah, they did.
To the report.
John Kennedy didn't go to that though either.
Oh, yeah.
Green Committee,
Yes, I met with the Green Committee. And I just gave them an overview of what was happening with Wings and Strings on the green. And they were all in support of the new fest. And talked a little bit about the Gilmore Girls happening, and there's some back and forth about whether that's gonna happen on the green or stay at the fairgrounds. So still working on that internally.
okay, Land Act,
Nothing.
Okay, concert committee?
Already talked about that. We're all full with our concerts.
Okay. Unfinished business, new playground update.
Okay, so we opened up the playground as a soft opening. It was like right after all that rain. We had, so if you can imagine the rubber at 4 inches, so that means that you have to step down off it. So we couldn't open it with that. So then we had a 5-foot pathway put around the entire rubber because we had enough surface to do something like that. And we had the vendor that was able and willing to create it. However, you have to step off that too. So then we had to say, okay, what are we gonna do? How can we open it if you have to step off that too? So we
Yeah.
went in to the interior of the playground and we coned off the whole in, like, when you walked in the exterior of the rubber, we coned it all off so you couldn't go beyond the path. So you could at least still use the playground. And it worked. It was great. It doesn't look great. It's got cones and caution tape and fencing, but we're truly not ready on the outskirts. So camp is coming on June 20th. Summer is happening on June 20th. Tony, my park supervisor, and Dave, public works director, met today. We are gallantly going to try and do whatever we can this week to backfill first we have to grade out the area again, and then we need to put topsoil down and back grade to the pathway with sod. So we are gonna sod all around, but first we have to fill all around the playground. The right side between the splash pad and the playground is a lower priority for us. It's that we wanna get the entire front and left side and back taken care of, so we can take away the cones, take away the fencing, and take our time on the road that we need to build. So that's the plan. So they're in support. Tomorrow they'll have crews on there in the morning, in the afternoon. Our problem is that we have Adams Middle School under a pavilion, 10 to 1.
Yeah.
So they're here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's gonna be gorgeous out, so it's going to affect what we can do, but they're gonna work in the morning and they're gonna work in the afternoon. We're gonna pay overtime to try to get some of the work done. Our goal is to get as much work as we can get done before the camp starts and summer begins. Mike Guerrera is going to start the personalized brick walkway this week too. So that's pretty cool. So everyone's been asking about their personalized brick and when that will go in. So because of the Adams kids being there, now he's saying maybe he'll start Thursday. I'm trying to tell him Wednesday will work because we're gonna switch the opening, the entrance to the left side. So that the Adams can get onto the playground safely. So a lot is happening. Goal is the 20th. We'll see if we can meet it. But remember I gave you the data last month about Facebook?
Yes.
So the one post that I did, I would say, we did a video, Laura and I. But then I quickly, because remember we changed the date, the soft opening. So on Saturday, it turned out to be beautiful. We had a couple days of the video being out. I think we got 2,700 hits. But I did a posting of the pictures of the playground up in the tower, looking down. So it just looked really beautiful. There might have been 5 or 6 photos. And I sent it out and I sent it through, I shared it to Simply Guilford. I shared it to a few different sources. We got 150,000 views.
Nice.
It was unbelievable.
Good. My gosh.
It was absolutely, like the most we've gotten on a video that we've done is maybe 5,000.
Just amazing.
It just went so deep and there were hundreds of comments that we were responding to. It was
That's
really
great.
wild.
It's good.
Yeah, and that also
Positive.
should,
They were all pretty positive, right?
yeah, I don't,
There's, we watch, there's, those of us will troll and see if anything comes up for Park and Rec or whatever. And then we alert each other, did you see this? Did you see
there
that?
might have been one comment that sticks out to me that was like, why did they have to have so much blue?
So that was the theme, but that, and then, and,
Tied into the ADA conversation in it.
right, and then,
All worked out.
somebody said, well, the water's blue, it's the water, so. complain
Please,
about
well,
that.
don't live on the Mediterranean.
The heck, you don't have the color, and just go.
Yeah.
and
When they were,
sometimes you don't
thinking
respond.
of that, like, having colors.
But community helps you out.
Yeah.
All right, are we good with the
Yeah.
playground? Okay, Eagle Scout,
Oh, can I add one more thing?
yes.
So, my plan is that we are gonna have a grand opening at some point. We're just trying to get a lot of these,
Yeah.
yes, we want to take away the orange fencing and everything, so it could be that it hits in July. So,
Okay.
Tara?
So on this related question, you said camp starts on the 20th, so what day do our lifeguards there during the week? Does that start that day? Cause I know
It
school
starts
ends
that
the
week.
16th, so school ends, the last day of school is officially the 16th. So is it then the next Monday when camp starts, that will be
Yes.
when you need a pass during the
Oh,
week and there's
during the
lifeguards? Okay,
Yep, right now you don't need a pass during the week.
okay.
Yep. Okay, thanks.
Okay, Eagle Scout Project at Dog Park.
Ghost.
Okay, Eagle Scout Project at Jacobs Beach.
So Jacob's Beach, Braden, who came to do the garbage can
Yeah.
cover with the buckets. He dropped it off Sunday, but it's in the wrong location. So I have emailed him and hopefully Tony took pictures of where it is and where it should be. So hopefully it's moved.
Okay, cool. Same topic at Lake Quantico. So.
That's all.
Wanna comment on that?
Finish this and then I'll come.
Okay.
That's all complete.
That was
They
done, I
moved
thought.
on
We
it quickly.
electrified the whole.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
has, it has electricity. They dug
Did it
trenches.
in one
been done,
weekend, one day.
Did Trent, and they had a very wet weekend
rainy.
too, but it was probably better
Yeah,
because the
probably,
ground was easier to get through. So dug a trench from the bathrooms all the way up to the pavilion. And they now have electricity.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So that's good.
Could you go to the dog park one time?
Yeah, go ahead.
But this has been on the agenda for months and nothing's happened. I mean, can we contact them and see, is this going to happen
I
or?
did try, so I did try, but it was maybe 2 meetings ago. So let me follow up one more time.
Yeah, and I mean, it looks
And
like
then
it's not
if
gonna
not,
happen. I
we'll
mean, we're
take
doing
it
this
on.
month after month,
Yeah.
but it's time to.
Sit on
the dog park.
Cause yeah, I met him there, we talked about it.
Yeah.
So tell him that if he's not gonna do it, we'll just remove it from the
Yes.
agenda.
Yeah.
Okay, banners on park field fences, my favorite topic.
Yes. So I know that Laura had taken some pictures and they're almost done.
I understand.
So
I'm
I
fine.
think they don't look good, but I think what would solve the
This is at
problem.
the
Is
dog
that
park.
Nut Plains Parks. So from the road or when you pull in, their banners are all at the top because cars pull up and they watch their kids if it's cold or it's buggy or it's hot. But if they were placed down like a regular banner, you wouldn't be able to see.
They'd
your
have to
kids.
get out of their
Have to
car
get
and
out of
watch
their
their children in person.
But I think if they turned the banners around and had the logos facing out, it would look better
Okay,
and they'd get more attraction.
and they're only up for a few weeks.
Yeah.
It's not, I always forget that. To me, I drive by it all the time. And it just, one isn't even up properly, it's kind of curling
Kind of
because of the
curly.
fence and it bothers me.
All
So,
I was gonna say, since I drive by all the time too, and it does not bother me as much as it does Laura. But I purposely looked at it. And I agree, it struck me as odd that you're looking at the back of them, so you can only see the logos on the field, which
Yeah.
I don't know. It just, it does make it look strange a little strange from the street, but I didn't think it was.
As bad.
I didn't think it was so bad, and it is brief. It does make sense to have it both ways or, facing the other direction. But maybe there could be just a little more carefulness in hanging them. I mean, some of it was just, I don't know, tight. It was
Yeah.
tight, so it was a
Level.
little raggedy looking, even though they were probably new.
Right, and I think that quite honestly, the businesses will get more attention if they turn it, because you got people at the dog park all the time, you got people at
Right.
the community garden, you got people that drive by and can see them from the street.
Yeah,
So we'll make that
but
note.
but in general, I know it's a contained amount of time and
right,
I
I
thought it was
understand,
okay.
it's just something I drive by,
know.
I'm not keen on it, but I
just
don't
don't
think
look
I
left when
mind.
you're driving in.
Look
straight
that I like what you have in mind, and if we could even make them so they're level, Right. I have a sign on my door that's crooked at the moment, a taped sign, and it's driving me nuts. I'm a little
That's why.
OCD, so, okay, so, did you comment on Rose, what you wanted to say?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. And then finally, fence donation.
No word from them either, so I'll also follow up with them, and then if not, we'll take that off.
Okay, so before we go on, so 12 is new business.
Okay, so,
So anyone have any new
Oh.
business before
I
you?
mentioned the pickleball.
Go ahead.
that's The amount of money that we're charging the people for non-residents compared to residents. And just maybe limiting some of that too. I don't know if we,
Are you talking about the program?
Yeah.
Stephanie, don't residents have a couple of weeks advance sign up
No.
for that?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
Do they?
Yeah, I
yeah.
believe they do.
They used to.
That residents are allowed to sign up before non-residents.
Right, so if we don't have
Is that
enough
published?
residents signing up for all the spots.
then you like to have the non-residents.
Right.
Okay, that's
Right.
fine. I thought it wasn't, I didn't know it was like that because I never saw that.
It's not, our programs like. Our programs and our brochure aren't necessarily like that, and I truly think that we should have a discussion regarding that because. I've always been one that said the residents should get the first chance to sign up for whatever they want. And then 2 or 3 weeks later, the non-residents should get an opportunity, but I don't think it should be at the same time.
I think we're doing that with a lot of the senior programs.
At
Yeah,
the
I
same
think a lot
time.
of them are.
No, I thought I think there's a delay, like trips and things, there's a gap,
Might be for
maybe
that.
for a few days,
I
but,
don't think there is no recreation.
Was it
and
published?
it may not be, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
I
I think at one point it was published, I feel like when I
I
first
think it's-
moved here,
Yeah.
and for camp, it used to be, I think there was that
Some
delay
gaps.
between resident and non-resident, but it seems like it kind of changed or depending on what was going on, it wasn't standard across, but it just seems like a good idea,
It's a
standard
standard thing.
practice,
It is a
because
standard
people want to do it, even if it doesn't fill, it doesn't mean everything's gonna be filled with residents.
Resident, like a human has to say, oh, okay, now today's Friday, Monday, we're.
No, it's in the brochure. It's in the
Right, but-
brochure.
But also if you signed up, I wonder if it could be programmed so that like I could sign up for $200, my kid for camp, but someone else who was then a non-resident, I mean, your address is in there and everything, like you'd have. I guess it is sort of manual though, like someone could maybe do
Well,
it.
it's like if it's, so first 2 weeks is residents only. Madison person tries to sign up. Is it all?
Yeah, I'm not certain about that. I'll have to
But-
ask.
The
Whether
only thing I could think is
whether
if-
software stops you or not, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, I wonder if it stops you, but it would be noticeable when the report is read by Ellen
Right.
or whoever, because the price would be different and obviously the address is all in there because it's by accounts, but
Yeah, but I'm not certain.
I don't know.
So this might be a good future discussion. Now it's a little late, all our programs are kind of out and running, but I know we have discussed this in the past. And there's been a difficulty in deciding because there've been some people who've taken the classes here for 10 years and they're not residents. And they don't want to be shut out, or Ellen wouldn't like them to be shut out too. So I think that could be a broader discussion and maybe with some new ideas, new eyes.
Yeah, I
At a
mean,
later
it's just like our beach stickers,
Right.
you know,
Yeah,
and
it's hard.
it can be hard, but I do think, I mean, listen, we're here to talk about Guilford.
And, some of
Giving
those
Guilford-
classes where those non-residents have been coming for 10 years, some residents aren't able to get into those classes.
Okay, yeah, I get it. I'm just saying that this has been discussed in the past.
And same
And
with
it does
Tyner.
with the
Yeah,
vote racks too, that there have been people, so.
Yeah.
It does seem like consistency would be good.
I agree.
Because it's confusing. I agree. For it to apply in some instances, not others.
Well, I think that come July or maybe August is more realistic, we will send a brochure out to all of you for the fall, winter, just as a draft. And then you can get a chance to comment on it before it goes out, because I believe it goes out at the mid-August or end of August.
And I don't,
That
I have
is
the brochure
actually-
open now. I don't see where it says anything.
There's a lot of information on brochure.
So
I know. I'm
there's
looking
not
at-
anything we can solve now, but let's look
No,
at it.
that's
for the
true. I
next
just, I
year.
agree.
What do we-
Because I was.
I
And
just
get
want
it,
to
we'll
say,
get it on the agenda for that.
I think it's
meeting or whatever.
a great idea to send the brochure before it goes out to other, because I don't think we've ever gotten it until
we
it's a
should-
finished
yeah.
product. And I know that the way the brochure is now, when it's online, there are ways to change things. Not if someone picked up a hard copy, but online, but I think
Right.
that's good. Not that we're gonna, it's not for micromanaging, but just to see what's going on.
Absolutely, I agree.
All right, is there any other new business?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
I'll let him.
So I just want to make the commission aware that last year we had a summer employee who was part of the aquatics program. And he had some serious concerns about the camp and the beaches in the summer of 2023. I started in February of 2024, and these concerns were brought to my attention. I met with the gentleman in March and listened to his concerns, and we had a long conversation. He shared some pictures and some of his concerns on paper. And I thanked him for that, and I said that I'd do a follow-up with him. Please give me a chance to, as a new director, to make my own decisions about the programs that were ahead of me. I followed up with a letter that I distributed to you. That was approved by our town attorney, and I sent that letter to the gentleman. And I asked too, is if any concerns arise during the summer of 2024, certainly reach out to me. I never heard back again from him. We had a good summer, everything was smooth and never had any complaints whatsoever. And just as of late, about 10 days ago, the same gentleman wrote to the Board of Selectmen with all these same safety concerns about the program. It was a very long email. It was, I was not copied on it. It was sent strictly to the Board of Selectmen. I will forward it to all of you, because that's not in your packet. And then 10 days later, as I was waiting for the Board of Selectmen or the town selectmen to advise me as to how we were gonna move forward, this gentleman wrote to Matt and I, and another long email that I have distributed. So I plan on writing a response similar to the one I did last April, addressing what I can about some of the things that we have changed. We brought Kerma, our risk management, we brought them on board last year and made sure that both beaches and camp programs had been assessed and a report was written about it. I'm meeting with Kerma again tomorrow to do the same assessments at Jacobs Beach, our playgrounds, and Lake Hugh. So I'm following up on the same procedure I did last year. I will follow up with that in the same response about some of the changes that we made. And I'll ask if he wants to meet with me for any additional concerns that I didn't know about. So I thought you should know about it. And if you have any questions, I can certainly respond, but I wanted to make sure you knew, just in case something hits social media, something hits the
Which I believe
newspaper.
he's threatening.
He has threatened to picket at the rec center, at Jacobs Beach, at Town Hall. He has threatened to put it all over social media. I prefer he doesn't do that, because I'd like to sit and try to address his concerns in person. So that's where we are with that.
So Pam, when you sent the letter to him last year, he didn't respond at all, right?
He didn't respond, and then and that was it. I never heard from him again. And I did hear that he was at the beach once. But he's saying he was there multiple times and he had the same concerns, but he never stepped forward. He never came to me and said, I have all these concerns about safety. And like any resident, like any commission member, if you saw something, say something. And he didn't, so he's saying it now. And
So I think I would like to say that a standard, if you see something on social media, that all we write is that, because you know how people are gonna hear something and then jump on the bandwagon, but our standard response will be, if you have any questions or concerns, please call the director. And you can even put in the Park and Rec phone number, and that is it. We don't comment on anything else. But hopefully that will squelch it, and we're not trying to hide it. There's nothing to hide. It's just, you know how it gets, you post one thing, somebody posts one thing, and then people who have no clue what's going on, jump on the bandwagon. And we don't want that to happen because we have an excellent.
And all the things that you mentioned in this letter to him were done.
Everything but Wins for Life, we didn't
Okay.
move forward with Wins for Life because we had used them, I guess, in the past, and he was quite expensive, so we didn't move with him, but everything else we did.
Okay. That's good to know.
Could be forwarding this email that was sent to the Board of Selectmen. You're gonna send it to us.
Yeah, I can forward it, because
And
did
there
you
is a
forward it to
report.
them?
I did not, I
Oh.
just printed it out.
But he indicates there's a report attached to the email, like a report of that he submitted to the town of the.
Yeah, I don't know that I got that because I wasn't on it,
Oh,
so Matt forwarded it to
I
me,
see.
so he may not have forwarded.
that would be the.
That was probably what he sent to me back in the fall.
Probably the PowerPoint presentation.
Yes.
He's referring to.
Yes, yeah, and it's quite long.
So this is the one copy that I think.
I just printed it off because I was copied on that with Matt.
I'll send it to everybody. I mean, you know, for the time that you have, lots of time that you're not doing anything.
So is there any more discussion about that last bit of new business? No. Can I entertain a motion to join the meeting at 7:38 PM?
What is this executive?
Oh, because we thought we weren't sure if we had to do that in executive session.
There is no.
There is no,
Just making
unless
sure.
somebody would like to go into executive session for any reason.
Just asking, cause
Okay, so somebody make a motion please, to adjourn. And
Second.
second, all in favor? Aye. Thank you very much.
Wait, hold on, I gotta
Make sure-
stop recording.